Hi, my name is Bubba Epstein. I'm also known as Dr. Neon. I used to be a biker kind of dude, but the biking thing is long over. So I've traveled all over the world. I've owned a restaurant. We're going to start with this Passover. I'm having some friends over for Passover. This is my new studio here. We're going to start with gefilte fish. Now, people don't usually, they say that gefilte fish, Gentile fish. Most people don't like it. Manischewitz makes it. It looks like it's cooked in phlegm. We're going to follow a gefilte fish recipe that's a little different. It'll be more like when you go to a sushi bar and he serves you one of those nice little fish croquets. I've prepared some boiling water with some salmon skin and fish stock, tilapia. We're using salmon, tilapia, and beautiful whitefish. We've got our stock going here. And it's simple. We're going to fish, 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 fish. We got some beautiful fish. Nice white fish. Right. So I've added 1/3 cup of matzo meal. I'm going to pound it by hand. It'll probably be better. I like my gefilte fish tough. Some, where they're chewy and fluffy and all the same. Where you can tell that it's fish, not that processed stuff that came. This is something I prepped. This was carrots and fish and some beets for sweetness and onions. We're going to mix that in. And we mixed our olive oil. We got 4 eggs to go in there. Remember, if you break an egg flat, you'll never get an eggshell in your stuff. Never. It's when you hit it on an edge that you get. So we're going to mash this all up till it's a nice mix. Add a little sugar to it, some salt and pepper. Then we're going to make croquets and we're going to boil it. And as you mix it, you add a little more matzo meal until it becomes a nice paste. Like I said, this is a Russian, Polish, Latvian, Lithuanian dish, where they have this kind of fish and, stuff. But not particularly Jewish, just the Ashkenazi brought this when they came over the first time. The German Jews came first. The Sephardic Jews were first, and then the Ashkenazi came around the time of the pogroms in Russia, 1895. They were lucky to get out, because we all know what happens after that. We'll start sautéing our liver, because we're going to make chopped liver. Though you can call it pâté, some people another one, oh, chopped liver. There is nothing finer than chopped liver on black bread, on matzah, on anything. Chopped liver is like liverwurst. Same thing, different, same thing. The same. So we've got some nice fresh liver in the chicken livers with a little beef liver. Never pork, remember. As much as we love pork, you never mix it. What kosher was originally designed for, and of course this is where dogma becomes religion. You bled the meat out. The reason when meat is cut kosher, the reason is that they cut the throat because it would bleed out quicker. And that way, because there was no refrigeration and the meat stayed fresher than killing an animal and letting the meat clot. This is chicken broth. We're just going to saute these. We're going to poach them, actually. We're just going to start those and just poach them. While we're mixing up our matzo meal here. Okay. So, we just keep mixing this until it dissolves. Kind of already has that color that you would see. Some people, they can buy it in a roll and they throw it in, they boil it and then slice it. They're all different recipes. Dehydrated onion gives you a different flavor than regular onion. Sometimes dehydrated, it's stronger. It gives it a more, it gives it a stronger flavor. Passover, of course, as you know, is the story of the Jews leaving Egypt. And I just got back from Egypt last year, and it was the best trip I ever took. The Egyptians are lovely people. I hope they straighten things out over there. A little crazy right now, but It was the most amazing. It was the most amazing trip I ever had. And I've been all over. I mean, I used to go to Thailand, the Orient a lot, and Europe, and I loved Egypt. Egypt was what it was all about. I learned more in Egypt in 2 weeks about religion and men and society and civilization, and how fast and how easy it all just vanishes. The food, of course, was very typical, you know, tabbouleh and couscous, and not as much lamb as I was hoping for. The Egyptians are not big on lamb. Beef and chicken. They like beef and chicken. No pork, of course. They're Muslim, just like the Jews. That carries over because they're both the same. Son of Ishmael, you know, brothers, you know, Abraham and Ishmael. So we've got this nicely mixed. It's going to stand for a little while we get this ready. We may have to add a little more matzo meal to thicken it up a little bit more, and we'll come back to it as we get our water up and boiling. But it's getting a really nice, starting to look really good. Add a little pepper. Mine's going to be a lot spicier than most, but you know what? My friends can handle it. Let's stir our livers. Stir our livers. We're just going to poach them ever so gently. We're getting our oil ready for our onions and celery. This is going to be our fish mix right there. Then we'll add celery to it. Now, a little bit about me. Like I said, I was a biker dude. I fabricated motorcycles. Everybody in the world's used my stuff. Jesse James, Orange County Choppers. I invent things and I make things. I made all my cutlery, my knives. This is an ulu I just made yesterday. This is a great chopper. I did all my prepping with this baby. I hardened it, I case hardened it. This is another ulu for chopping. These are wonderful. We sell these, you know, I do the Sawdust Festival, and on my website I make knives, I fabricate toy soldiers, and you'll get to see everything about me. If you're not aware of who I am, you will be when we're done here. Bubba Epstein AKA Dr. All right, so our liver is done. We don't want to overcook it. You don't want it to be rubber. We'll take that off the stove. We're going to let it sit. It smells delightful. Mixed it with garlic. All good. We're just going to let that cool down. All right, now I'm going to put this one on high, turn this one off. And I learned a little trick, so when you're spraying, you know, when you're making things, spray your hands with a little pan. You can just take it and it won't stick to your hands as much. So we're going to try one and see how it comes out. We'll drop it in. We'll try and put it into a ball. And we're experimenting. I've never made this before. This is the first time ever I've ever made this. So we're experimenting and we'll see. Me, I want to be an Epicurean. One who likes good food. I've eaten bugs. I mean, you know, I watch all those shows and, you know, I go, yeah, that's it. Nothing like a good cockroach. All right, I need to stir this. I need to wash my... Yeah. That's what we want. Let's turn it down a little. Does that smell wonderful or what? All right. So these guys, man, they're really blowing up. Look how big they're getting. They just, and they have to boil. So cover them with that. Cover them. That looks more like a filter fish. I grew up in Hyde Park in Chicago, which is right where Obama lives. I went to Kenwood High School, which was a predominantly black school, so all my friends were black kids, and I would eat what they ate. And I learned what real fried chicken was. I learned, what the best part of a rib is. Nobody makes better ribs than Chicago. Ribs and bibs. All right, so we got about 2 more of these croquettes. or gefilte fish. If I was a rich man. All right. As in all cooking, you got to keep track of what you're doing because you don't want to burn stuff, and I'm quite capable of that, as we all are. But when I went shopping, it's amazing. You know, you go to the big houses like Costco, God bless them, I love them. You know, Sam's Club, whatever. The 99-cent store has the same produce for 99 cents. I mean, I love that place. I couldn't live without it. I sure wish they would sponsor me. Trader Joe's, anybody, you know, I'm up for anything. But okay, so we're going to pour back in all that oil that we don't need. And we're going to throw our celery in. Now, some of these are, like I said, this lamb that we're cooking is a great lamb dish, period. End of the story. You can serve this anytime. It's lamb, rosemary, and garlic roasted. The same thing with the chicken. It's a large chicken. A capon is a chicken with its batesum cut off. That was what makes a capon. He gets fat. I wonder. Capon. So now I'm mixing up my celery and my sliced mushrooms. No, I add the mushrooms next. Okay, because I don't want mushrooms in my chopped liver. All right, so we're going to let that down. Now we're going to start our matzo meal. Here, we'll take a sprig of rosemary. I've got tomatoes. I've got cantaloupe. I've got all sorts of stuff growing. Okay. Rosemary, I got thyme. I've got all sorts of vegetables and herbs. Quite a view, huh? A little schmutzy today. And this is for our lamb. Okay, now, next. Okay, cover these. So our gefilte fish are coming along just fine. It smells delicious. Doesn't smell like what that other stuff. We're rendering down our celery, and now we're going to make our chopped liver. Oh, remember, we poached the chopped liver. We just took, this came from the 99-cent store, a quart of, you know, chicken livers, a little bit of beef liver, and we poached them. We didn't overcook them. We didn't hard boil them. We wanted them nice and tender, okay? And they were mixed with garlic, salt, and pepper. And we're just going to put them in here. We're going to keep that juice for when, as we chop it up. And we have our onions over here. And we're going to add our onions to our chopped liver. This delicious onions. God, they smell so good. And the onions have some nice oil in them. And that'll help. Okay, and then we're going to add some dried onions to give it a little more texture, and a hard-boiled egg. So I'm going to try my new handy-dandy hulu that I made. I probably should be in the stainless steel. If I hit this really hard, I may crack this bowl in half. But hey, I think I will. So Bubby used to probably take all day and night, you know, because the refrigeration and all that to make the Passover meal. It was very special. The Passover meal was a very, very special meal with the whole family. Like I said, it involves children because, you know, they hide the matzah and there's a prize and there's, you know, all that good stuff. Well, this is looking really good. All right. All right, we're going to let that stand for a little while. How do you think our fricassees here are coming there? Man, oh man. They look really good. I mean, they look beautiful. And you can see the fish. We didn't cut it all up. So you can tell that it's fish. It's not some mystery It's not a mystery product of what it is. All right, I think they're beautiful, I really do. We have these beautiful carrots and onions. What, you know, what's the point of experimenting if you know what everything's going to be? I mean, this is what makes cooking so exciting. Otherwise, I'd be a skinny little nothing eating at fast food restaurants. This is what makes it exciting. This is the Epicurious in us all. All right. So, we're heating up our water for our matzo balls. That's standing for 15 minutes. That's an easy. It comes out of a box. It's a mix. It's a no-brainer. This is our celery and mushrooms. And we're going to add the onions to this. And this is going to be our stuffing. And our onions are over here. We add it all back together. You know what? Let's save a little of that onion for the chopped tube. Okay, so this is all looking beautiful. We're going to turn it off, let it sit. We're going to add a little chicken broth. And then we'll add broken pieces. We'll take a box of matzah, and it's a cracker stuffing. Matzah is nothing but a cracker. Okay, now we're going to make something very special for the chopped liver. It's called gribenes. Gribenes is the chicken skin. Everybody loves chicken skin. You know, that's the best part of fried chicken. I'm going to put this in the microwave and soften it just a tiny little bit. Life without a microwave, what would life be? Nothing. You can cook absolutely incredible gourmet meals in a microwave. You don't have to be embarrassed together. All right, so we go back to the microwave. We only wanted to soften it. We didn't want to cook it. Oh yeah, that did it. So this is chicken skin and chicken fat. And we got the deep fryer going. We're gonna make them nice and crisp little. So that cuts real nice. See, it cuts beautifully now. And you want to cut it in about 1/4-inch strips, because the gribene is the best part of the chicken, of the chopped liver. It's the chewy little bit that gives it the texture inside the chopped liver. On ours, we're going to do gribenes and a hard-boiled egg. And like I say, you can serve that on anything. Me, with a nice onion and a really strong brown mustard, man, you can't beat that. What a sandwich that is. So I have a handy-dandy deep fryer. I used to hand fry these in a pan. They'll come out way better in the deep fryer. And we'll deep fry them up, and we'll go from there. Holy moly. Oh, good. Okay, so this is our stuffing. Let's see how our celery is. This could render a little bit more. And there's chicken broth. So, in the meantime, let's take a look at our chopped liver. Let's see how that's doing. Okay, it's firming up lovely. Chopped liver will be good. Our gribenes will go into that. This is cooking. All right, the matzo ball mix was 1 box of matzo ball mix to a 1/2 cup of oil, 4 eggs, and we mixed it all together. We let it sit, and now we're going to take it. Now it's much harder, stiffer. You can work this stuff so much better. Balls, kaboom, and into the hot soup. Okay, yeah, that's much better to let it stand. You know, like I said, I've never done this. I mean, I've done it, but I've never done it from, you know, first time I ever made gefilte fish. I'm going to be really interested to see how that turns out. But those look beautiful. I like a nice big matzo ball. Now we're going to try that nice ulu of mine. And wash my hands. What a gorgeous day it is here. Yeah, okay. So this is my ulu. I just made this Friday. And it really chops well. I mean, you don't even have to, you know, look how nice that cuts. I mean, you just roll it. You don't have to, you know, go like that. You just roll it down. That is really sweet. I've never, you know, I've made the other style ulus, but this one looked like it would really work, and it does. Look how gorgeous that cuts the celery, just exquisitely. Really nice, and all of them are cut nice right through. That's a good thing. Okay, that goes into our chicken soup. The next thing we're going to make is we got the chopped liver all done. We've added dehydrated onions to it. We'll take a stainless steel bowl here, and we'll spray my girlfriend Pam. She was my first. Spray Pam in there. Then we'll coat the thing with these nice cracked peppers so it sticks to the Pam everywhere. So it has a nice, you know, crunch to it everywhere. On the sides. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Then we're going to take the gribbinus. And this is what the gribbinus came out after you cut them, and I took a scissors and I cut them up. They're just fried pieces of chicken skin. A little soft, crunchy, and put that in the top. Right like that. Boom. And we just put it in here. So we have onions, onions, and onions. Then I'm going to take an egg and put it and kind of like a meatloaf. Boom. Right in here. We're going to push it right down into the center. And then we're going to bury the whole thing, smooth it up. We're going to chill this. And then when we flip it over, it should pop right out. All right, let's look at our matzo balls. Ain't got enough of that matzo ball, matzo ball, matzo ball. Ain't got, look at those matzo balls. Aren't they beauteous? Carrots, This is going to be our chicken soup. So, how nice. All right. So, those are the ones we let sit, and they look a little different than the other ones. You see the difference between the first ones? The ones we let sit longer are smoother. They have that nice texture than these rockier ones, but who knows? Okay, now this is our mushrooms, our celery, all the things that were in our left over from when we did the chopped liver. We're going to just take some matzah. Love this stuff, like books, old books. Just break it up. Pepper, 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 pepper. Okay, then we have some matzah meal left over. We dump that in. We mix it up. Oh, we need some more eggs. The thought. Love eggs. So that's that. It's mixed. It's done. It's you mix it up. It'll be our stuffing, and we'll stuff it into our chicken after we let it stand for a little while. We'll stick it in the fridge because we got raw eggs in it, and let it soak up and, you know, get soft. Add a little chicken broth. You know, I made sure that I didn't mix my lemonade because I've done that one before. Looks just like lemonade. That's my chicken broth. Yeah, man, does that look good. And this will get put into the capon. Okay, so we're moving right along. So that'll get stuffed into our bird, which is in there. We've got our rosemary on the lamb. That'll go. We'll prep that a little later. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I definitely see the difference of the ones I let sit. They're a little smoother, but you know what? I think they'll be just fine. Okay, now the only thing left on our list of so many things to cook wouldn't it be easier if we were just doing mac and cheese? Is the lamb and the chicken. This is a New Zealand leg of lamb, boneless. So all we got to do is slice it. It won't be a problem. I've marinated it in garlic and pepper and chilies and rosemary. And I'm about to pop this one into the oven. Then we're going to stuff the bird and get that. There's our beautiful chicken. And we need our matzah stuffing, which is right here. That looks really good. Damn. So here's our bird. We don't have to season it because this has so much seasoning in it, you would overkill it. And the rest of the stuffing will go in a pan. So we're putting stuffing inside it and underneath the skin a bit. That should make it really, really unique. This is our bird. We're going to give a little coat of olive oil so the skin crisps real nice. This is black truffle salt. And it's so powerful of a sauce, it'll change the whole complexity of that bird. Stuffing is always my favorite. And into the oven she goes. Now these potatoes that Kai and I have been nibbling on all day, I boiled them last night. So usually you can use a fingerling, or these are fingerling. So we're going to take this little fingerling and we're going to crush it. We're just going to crush these. Flatten them out. They're already been pre-cooked. And we're going to season them with some rosemary. And hopefully that'll stick, you know, lightly. Get the rosemary to stick to it. And then some salt. And then we'll stick them in the oven. We'll stick them in the deep fryer. So let's try it. We'll take them over here to our deep fryer that's been waiting all day to do this. And we'll just put them in. Fryer's nice and hot. And away they go. Now look how gorgeous they are. And we don't want any of that oil. And we're going to season these afterwards. And you know what? I'm going to let them go a little bit longer. So look how beautiful our gefilte fish came out. And it really tastes great. Here's our eggs and tears. There's our chorets. Over there's the lamb, which is lovely. The stuffing, the matzah stuffing. The chicken is incredible over there. And then the kugel and the roasted potatoes. And there it is. And here's the matzah. And we're going to start our secret ceremony of how we rule the world, man.